Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Golden Jailene. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be an overview. I'm going to be talking about all the Too Faced palettes that come in this packaging. I can't hold all of them up at the same time, but there are 7. We're going to start with the original Too Faced chocolate bar. Now this came out many years ago. I remember being like maybe a freshman in high school. Mine is like the one that didn't have the names on it. This would just come with an insert. It was like a clear insert that had the names on it, and I saw on a YouTube comment that somebody said they cut the names out of the insert, taped them under the corresponding name, and then they threw the remaining plastic away. And it actually works really well. By the way, all of these palettes are $49, and I'm not going to be talking about the Just Peachy Mattes palette in this video just because that one isn't in the same shape. I know that's a dumb reason to not mention it, but yeah, I just want to talk about the ones that are in this tin shape. I think this is my least favorite one. When I first bought this, I loved it, but that was because I wasn't fully aware of like pigmentation and blendability. I have used it a lot. I find that some of these colors are not pigmented, especially these 3 right here, and I'm pretty sure I have a tutorial, I'll link it in the cards, where I use those purples and it was a disaster. Also this burgundy right here, Cherry Cordial, not that pigmented, and this shade right here, Champagne Truffle, it has some serious hard pan. A lot of these have hard pan. Oh, and this is not pigmented at all. Like, it is nothing. This one right here too, I thought it was going to be a beautiful green. This, I think it's Gilded Ganache, but it is not pigmented. It looks like a brown. And it's not that it's expired, like it's been that way the entire time. It doesn't blend out too well. There's only a handful of shades in here that don't work. So honestly, this palette is a miss for me. The next palette is the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar. And this one I love. This one is completely different. I love pretty much every single shade in here, even the blue. A lot of people hate this blue. I can make it work. The only shade I don't like is this, that fake glittery shade. Like it's such a disappointment. That one's called Pink Sugar. It's just pressed glitter, but I find all of these shades to work perfectly. I mean, there is hard pan in one of them, but that's because I got it way too wet. I love every single shade in here. Some people say that they don't like this one because it's not as pigmented. I disagree. I think the original is not. I do tend to see that the formula of these palettes is not very consistent. Some people have a very, very pigmented semi-sweet chocolate bar. Other people have a very lackluster semi-sweet chocolate bar. Now the next one that came out in this little series, I guess, is the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. This one, the original, has warm and cool tones in it, while the semi-sweet chocolate bar I feel like is, I mean, it has warm and cool, but I feel like there's some warmer colors in there. Chocolate Bonbons is very cool toned. This is very Valentine's-y. As you can tell, wow, it's upside down. As you can see, the pans are even in the shapes of heart, shape of hearts, you know what I mean. I don't hate this palette, it's just not one I tend to reach for because I just find it very boring. The only shade that's not good in here is, can you guess? The purple. The purple's not that pigmented. I thought it would be more vibrant. It's definitely better than the one in the original chocolate bar, or the ones, because there was like 3 purples in there. All of these are good shades. They're just so boring to me. These pops of color are very pretty, but I don't know, I just don't tend to reach for it. I only reach for it on like my natural makeup days. It's not bad, but it's not my favorite. I feel like if you like cool tone shades, you would love this palette, and that's the thing, I prefer warm tone. The next one that came out is not a chocolate palette, it's the Sweet Peach palette. As you can see, this one has 2 more shades than the last palettes because the other palettes have bigger highlighter shades. This is one of my favorites. Again, the purples in here are not that good. Talk Derby to me, awful, like it's garbage. Same with Delectable, it is not what you expect it to be, and I think that's it. Like every single other shade in this palette is amazing, and what's crazy to me is that I have used it multiple times, but it looks like I've never touched it. So I'm actually trying to do like a project pan with this one, even though I don't pan things. I mean, I do hoard a lot of makeup, I collect a lot of makeup, and I use a different palette every day, but I'm trying to pan this. Some people hate it, but I think it's really, really nice, really pigmented. The purples in here, while they aren't good, you can get them to work. This one is definitely a hit for me. I have to say, I actually even like this better than the semi-sweet chocolate bar. This is the Too Faced Clover palette. I love this one. I'm pretty sure some of the profit for this palette goes to like an animal charity. This was like inspired by Jared's dog, Clover, which is why it's called the Clover palette. And this is very beautiful. While some people do say that this has like the pop effect, I disagree. I think that there is a good variety of color in this. For example, we have this blue, this yellow, this purple, these two pinks, this coppery. I would consider that coppery shade, I wouldn't consider that a neutral color. That's the thing. There are a lot of colors that people consider like neutrals, and I'm like, that's definitely not a neutral, like in my opinion. We have this other purple, which is just darker, this blue brown, which I don't consider a neutral. Like I said, I mean, there's like blue in it, and this green. So I feel like that's a very good amount of color in here. And I do not have a problem with any of the shades in this palette. I love every single one. This purple right here needs just a tad bit of building up, but it's still like an amazing palette. I love it. A lot of people anti-haul this, but I definitely think it's worth buying, and I am so happy that I bought this one. If you like experimenting with color, this is definitely the one for you. So this one is totally a hit for me. The next one that came out was such a disappointment to me. This is the Too Faced White Chocolate Bar. I still like this better than the original, but I don't know. I was expecting this to be a red. It's not a red, it's like a pink. And I was expecting that pink and the green to be a lot more pigmented. Same with the purple right here. I was expecting it to be more pigmented, and it wasn't. The shades are beautiful. Like, the shades are not bad. They're pigmented. They're amazing. I feel the same way about this palette as I feel about the Chocolate Bonbons palette. It's just boring. There are so many glitter infused shades in this palette. This black one, you can see that glitter. This one right here too also has glitter, and so does this one. Like, you can totally see that. But when you like pick it up, it looks, I mean, you can see the glitter, but like when you put it on your eyes, it looks matte. Like, why does Too Faced do that? I have to say this one's a miss, even though it is good quality. And last but not least is definitely like my top favorite. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette. It's pretty much all shimmers except for these 4 colors, and I love this. This is so pigmented. Not a single one of these shades is bad. If you like shimmers and you like bronzy and like gold shades and like pops of color here and there, this is definitely the one for you. If you're not a huge fan of shimmers, then you're not gonna like this because there's only 4 mattes in here. In that case, I would probably recommend, and if you like cool tones, I would probably recommend this Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons, because this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mattes. I would also recommend the Just Peachy Mattes palette, because that one is like full on matte. The purples in here, so good. This is Live in Lavish. Like, yes, that's exactly what I've wanted in those purple shades. I know it doesn't look that good because like this is fake lighting, but if you are picking one up, I would have to say this has to be it. If I would have to rank these in order from my favorite to least favorite, definitely this one is number 1. The Clover palette is number 2. Sweet Peach palette is number 3. And I feel like that one's kind of tied with the semi-sweet one, but just for the purpose of ranking, this one's number 4. The White Chocolate is number 5. The Bonbons is number 6. And this one is definitely last. I hope this helps you decide which one you want, or if you want all of them. I mean, none of them are like awful. I mean, I was like kind of trashing this one, but it's not awful. It's just not as pigmented as shadows are nowadays. Also, this, I've had this palette for like 6 years, and I mean, like I said, the pigmentation is exactly the same as it was before. Trust me, like I have old pictures of how patchy my eyeshadow was. I can't speak for the ones they make today. Take my opinions with a grain of salt. So that's it for this overview of all of my Too Faced palettes. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!